All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. The stadium itself might be a bit newer, but it's a rivalry that still burns hot. And here we go, the Battle of the Bay from Santa Clara. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not today. Not today. Get out. Oh. Easy. Double tight, guys. Double tight. Here we go. 13. 13. 56.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Go ahead.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
That's taken on the 25. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now a Bay Area native from up in Berkeley. This is Marshawn Lynch. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Get down.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Go Chief. 734.
From the gun, it's Carr. And the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeForest Buckner. In there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go. 180.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. And now here come the Raiders. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
93.
1st down, the run with Lynch. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Hey. You got 4. Monday, Josh.
On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr will try it again on 2nd down. Flush to his right. Wide open receiver, complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
And Derek Carr just keeps improving. He can be dangerous not just inside the pocket, but as we see here, outside of it as well.
Kid born in California, played his high school ball in Texas, had quarterback written all over it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go. Express. Raider 2, 734.
On second down, here's Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Throw left side complete. It's Lynch. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put together a playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll run for it with Lynch. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They go play action here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any...
On second down, here's Garoppolo. He's letting this one, and this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there for the Niners. 46 yards. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they showed passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Garoppolo looks to throw. He finds McKinnon, complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is going to lose yardage here. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start the drive with Lynch. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Carr now to throw. He'll get this one to Switzer. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them the short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And he is going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jaquiski Tartt. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Express. Low.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Throw on second down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jordy Nelson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure If something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Now he's forced out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
11. Check safety. Hey, gun. Shift. 11.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and you got to think if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Get set.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've reached half. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
7:34. 8:08.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. first down. Being chased out left. And he's caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to...
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Jerick McKinnon with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Gould now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now they try the right side here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Go. Get set. Later 2.
Back to the ground, this time Lynch. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Whitney Merciless in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here now, Johnny Townsend as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards of punt so far as this one's away. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back. Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He's going to loft one. Deep left. And got his man. Complete. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for the Niners. 41 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
21. Here we go. Like 20. Here we go. Get set.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one down to the 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, He's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The first carry for the Utah man now, it's Joe Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he checks this one down to Williams. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try to run with McKinnon. And they'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jerick McKinnon with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On 1st down, Carr. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
The timing and the faking on that play was so good, you almost think you're at a magical act, right? The magician is showing you something.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he will be out of bounds as the 3rd quarter comes to an end with an INT. Back now here in Santa Clara. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
21.
Here again is McKinnon. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. The Niners on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. McKinnon. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. They have to use timeouts. What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Hey, come on. 11.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Garoppolo, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They run once more with McKinnon. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Gold with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Gold now out to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession. And to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's complete. He's got Lynch out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there. Carter Nelson, 44 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Go Chiefs!
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Escaping the pressure right. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Like 80! 80! 21.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Toss play, McKinnon. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Now Garoppolo. And he's got Rodgers. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Garoppolo now. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. This will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3. Garoppolo to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now Carr. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. To throw is Carr. And the Niners get there and bring him down. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Carr to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. And this is caught inside the 5. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. One final try now for Carr. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. The extra point here is good, but the late touchdown can only draw the score a bit closer as this game is over. Well, partners, still ahead.